Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome to another challenge. Today we got ourselves yet another brand new challenge here in Splatoon 3. So what do you say we just skip the news and jump straight into things here. So today's challenge is yet another weapon specific challenge. Today we have Brella Good. Come back with your Brella or on it. It's time for a Brella-bration. Are you a canopy or are you a can't-opy? Players can only choose the different varieties of Brellas, and primary and secondary abilities are enabled. So, essentially, Brella Good here is just playing Splat Zones with nothing but the Brella class of weapons. So, you only have 7 weapons available to use, 8 in total if you have the Order replica version of the normal Brella here, but yeah, not many weapons to pick from, if you want to be honest. And the Brella class has been considered one of the hardest weapons to use in Splatoon, mainly because of latency problems online when it comes to the shields of the Brellas, and just in general, some of them being really difficult to get a hang of at first, like with the undercover Brella being very weak in terms of damage, and then the tent Brellas being very slow, and they're heavyweight class weapons, so this is going to be an interesting challenge, to say the least. I mean, we got a new one here, the recycled Brella 24. So, we got some stuff to experiment with. A brand new rework stage in the mix, too. So, there's a lot to take a look at. So, just like always, I do have some presets made for these weapons. So, we can just jump straight into battle here. The first weapon we are playing with is the new recycled Brella here in Splatoon 3. So, what do you say we jump in? So, here we go. We got 5 battles as normal here. I play my 5 games, see where we stack up by the end, and then from there I'll just play more off camera just to see how I'll do in this whole 2-hour rotation. But to start things off here, I do want to talk about the new weapon here, the recycled Brella. As you can see, that shield deploys almost instantly, but also comes back almost instantly too. And it's pretty powerful. Every shot does 90 damage if all the bullets collide, which this is the strongest Brella shot, as in like the normal classes of Brellas, because Tent is stronger, but this is what the normal Splat Brella's damage used to be back in Splatoon 2 until it was nerfed down with patches. So people were really excited for the recycle Brella having a lot of damage. Too bad the weapon itself is a little hard to use. Biggest problem I feel with this weapon specifically is just the idea of the shield. The shield itself is very, very weak, so we got to be very careful with how we use it. And also, with it deploying really fast, that's not going to be that much of a help either. Which I don't have my shield at the moment, which is funny how I say that thing comes back pretty fast. It took a long time to come back in that situation. Taking a look here. I'm just going to jump in normally because there's just too much chaos going on over there. I don't really see too much else in this area, so I'm going to launch my shield just to have it out in the field. At this point, it just paints. And that's just really not great, because the problem I'm having here fighting the tent Brella specifically is they have better range, and they also have more power than me, so very easy for them to destroy my shield. Alright, come on, got him. I am hit a little bit here, but that's perfectly fine. I'll take the damage from the screen. Someone's got a vacuum going, but that's also why I have my bubble out. I do think the kit on this weapon's pretty alright. You got the angle shooter, which is probably the worst part about it, because the angle shooter is really hard to use. But the bubble, I do think, complements the weapon pretty nicely because of how the shield takes forever to come back. I do think the big bubble helps give you some set defense, but that's our first game. Not a great start, but also I'm not surprised I didn't really do all that well with this weapon. I don't really care for the recycled Brella myself personally. I like its damage output. I just don't like its shield. It's way too weak, and you can't hold it out for more than like half a second before it deploys. And when I play a Brella weapon, I usually like to hold that shield out in front of me to protect myself. I don't want it launching halfway downtown. I want it in front of me. And you can't really do that with the Psycho Brella, because it just wants to go immediately. So, it's an interesting weapon. It's just not for me, personally. So, let's go ahead and swap out to a different weapon now. Let's use a different Brella. Specifically, we're going to use this one here, the Sorella Brella. Out of all the different Brella weapons in the game, this is probably one of my favorite ones, if not my favorite altogether. because the Sorella Brella's kit is just really good. Even though it may not be as strong as that recycled Brella, only doing about 81 damage at most, my shield can actually stay out for about like 2 seconds before it deploys, and that's much better than having my shield just instantly go, so that's already a good sign. Plus, Auto Bomb in mix with the Inkjet here is really, really powerful, so I can use the Auto Bombs to scout things out in my area, see if anyone's around, and then Inkjet's just a really powerful special altogether. But here we go, now we're at the newer version of Undertow Spillway. This got a rework in the mid-season patch here for Splatoon 3, so this map is entirely different. I love how we have 3 of the same Brella, so this is going to be a lot of Inkjets. So this rework, I don't really feel like it changed too much on the map. It did add a little bit more in terms of like overall coverage of this or that in the area. Like there's just more ground here in general to cover, so that's nice. But it doesn't really feel that much different, I'm not gonna lie. It feels very similar to the old version of Undertow in a lot of areas, outside of some little things here and there. So this one's a little more of a disappointing rework, I would feel, just because of how it's not the most like unique map now, or like the most different. It feels like this could have been a thing that they could have just randomly patched out. And they've done that already in this game, like a year ago during Fresh Season, the first one. And hopefully that Autobomb does something with this Temperella. Pushing him in the new little corner over here, so that helps. You got this like random hole in the middle now, which I guess that kind of helps you to jump and just helps on travel altogether, but other than that, it doesn't really seem to do much. That's at least some damage out, but it was more just a pressure enemies. Immediately when I land, someone's camping my spawn area, so that's not great. I'm gonna just jump back in normally because there's just too much chaos going on right now. Everyone's kind of pushed back at our base area, so I wouldn't really gain that much ground just by jumping. Also, can I just ask, what the heck's the point in this thing? This little platform makes absolutely no sense, and it has like no practical use. The only thing I can think of that that platform would be good for is put a squid beacon up there. That's it. It's like the only thing I can think for that little random ledge. Well, speaking of random, everyone's favorite special coming out to play. I don't know what else I would do with that ledge up in the corners. I don't know. It's like the most useless thing. I'm gonna go this way because I don't want to get hit with the screen. Alright, that's an undercover. Alright, now I'm gonna just do this so I can at least gain some ground here and attack. I don't know where. Okay, I think I see you. Well, the shield immediately. That's one nice thing, at least, about using the Inkjet here with this weapon. As soon as I land, I can pull out my shield with the Brella, so I can protect myself right away, and that's really good. I got out-Brella played, which is fair, because I didn't really have a great angle. And we're really not keeping control for that long, so we can't get any points. We've gotten some, but we gotta close the gap a little bit more than what we already have. It's also really hard to paint the zone right now, because we all have like the same kind of painting prowess, which is not the best. Like, it's fine, but they also have, you know, like tent umbrellas, which have a lot of ground they can cover. And then they also have, oh god, I'm gonna just get out of here. They also have undercover where we can shoot really fast, so they can paint pretty fast on zone in general. We don't really have that same luxury. And I'm gonna go back over in this corner, and then I'm gonna use Inkjet. Trying to see, is anyone else out here? No? Okay. Well, I'm just gonna at least try to pressure at this point. But hey, we got the lead, so that's good. So an auto bomb up on the ledge. Apparently it misses, going on the ground. That doesn't really matter. It wouldn't have done anything, but whatever. Looking around here, we got a screen pushing enemies back. Take care of that tent. That's the more threatening one. Now I'm out of ink. Oh, I cannot believe that shot actually still killed. Nice, got the guy in the air, and that is GG's. Wow, at one point I wasn't sure we were gonna win that game, and then we just took it over. So, good going. Well, that's one loss with a knockout, but one win with a knockout, so that makes up for the first game. I can't believe we actually pulled that out because we have 3 of the same weapon. That's the problem when you have these kind of challenges, when there's not many weapons of that specific class. Brellas, there's not many Brella weapons in Splatoon let alone Splatoon 3 right now. And yeah, it shows, because a lot of people will just kind of pick the same thing. I played this a little bit last night when the rotation first happened, and I noticed a lot of people were picking Sorella Brella. If not this one, it was another one. This weapon here. A lot of people also pick Tenta Sorella Brella because it's really good. And I'm going to pick it as well for the same reason. But this weapon is a heavy class, so we're going to move a little bit slower. This is why I do have comeback on for my headpiece. So that way I'll get movement speed when I recover from any kind of death. So I'll get some movement on running and swim. But as you can see, this thing's really powerful, even from a distance. It does 50 damage, or up close it can just kill. Even from mid-range, it's 85. So this weapon's really powerful. And the shield itself stays out for a good long time, and it's also really big, so it's really good to deploy out, and also the combo with, too. Now, I'm not going to really be getting too many uses out of the mines, probably put them in the splat zones, but it's the Trizooka we'll get a lot of use out of, because what you can do is that you can deploy your shield, and then pull out the Zooka like this, and use your shield while also firing your main weapon. So, in this case, I can pull out the Brella shield, and then walk forward with the Zooka, being a very big threat. And I have a really good thing of protection. Don't want to get too close. Someone throws a bomb, probably gonna die. Alright, but game number 3, back here, Barnacle Dime. Got ourselves a lot of ink jets on the other side, so we'll have to be careful. We got a lot more of a varied set here. Everyone's using a different type of Brella, say, or at least different. Everyone's just going straight to the middle here, I see. I want to get up here on this ledge. I'm going to pop out my shield. Even though I pretty much destroyed it immediately, it's fine. I need to get ink. Like, really bad start, because I had, like, no ink. I got one of them. Be careful here. My teammate jumping into that section, he's just going to die. The only problem I'm having right now is I'm using a lot of ink, because the tent Brellas are very ink hungry, so I got to be very careful how much ink I am using here. But now, let us use our special. Kind of pressuring them back a bit with that. A good screen. Now we can move in. And there you go, we got control. So I'm going to put a mine right here, and a mine on the other side. That'll give us some good coverage. Oh man, I think that guy got 2 of us with that set Trizooka. That was a good shot. Okay, maybe 3 of us, because 3 people respawned at the same time. That's not a good thing. Oh, we got an ink jet coming out. I don't think I'm going to kill it. Just trying to at least do some damage so someone can peck it off. Alright, jump back in. I had a feeling this was the weapon I was going to struggle a little bit more with. This is why I do have quick respawn on. That way I can come back into the battle a lot faster, and that's going to really help in this case. Oh, get away. Not a great situation. Alright, nice latency. So, I was going to talk about that at some point, because I did mention that in the beginning, of how this is one of the harder weapons to use due to latency problems. Now you see why. There are many opportunities in Splatoon due to netcode issues that you'll put out your Brella shield and you'll still die through the shield, which is exactly what happened. And unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about it just because of latency differences between people's connections. There's only so much that you can do to fix that. I'm playing on a wire connection on my Switch, so my end is as responsive as it can be. I have pretty fast internet where I live, so it's not like I have a really slow connection to the Splatoon servers, but it depends on the other people. I might be playing someone on a Wi-Fi hotspot, for example, with like worst case scenario connection, or maybe someone's internet is acting up, so now their connections overall, like speed, like ping, for example, the upload speed, maybe that's starting to take a dip. And because of that, the latency difference between the players, now it's starting to shine. And that is where Brellas have a lot of problems. I hear that the Brella class is really good to play in a local environment, so if you're playing any of the Brellas at like a LAN party, for example, or a LAN tournament, I hear these weapons are really good. It's just, unfortunately, if you're playing online, you have to deal with internet differences, causing the weapon to struggle a lot more. And that's really where these said weapons become some of the hardest to use in the game specifically. It's a lot more risk versus reward, just depending on the connection. So you have to be mindful that your Brella may not always work. Try to pull it out earlier than you think you need it due to a latency difference. About a second. Keep that in mind. Every interaction in Splatoon, try to do it about a second before your opponent, because that is probably the latency difference. It's usually a second, maybe two. But yeah, that game was rough. I mean, it was a little hard to combat so many ink jets all at once, so that didn't help. Once they're in the air, we had a harder time aiming up, and our shields can only protect us for so long. So, kind of a rough game. Let's move on to our next weapon here, which will be one of my favorites. It's the Undercover Brella. But this one, though, is the newer version. The Undercover Sorella Brella. Out of the two, I rather play this. Mines on the weapon, doesn't really work. Reef Slider, might as well be Snickle Chuckle, because the Reef Slider itself also doesn't work. Remember the latency problem I just talked about with Brellas? Yeah, combine the latency problem with the weapon with your special. Now you got a 2-for-1 special and things not working due to a netcode problem. Hey, at least the nice thing about the Undercover weapon is that your shield will stay out all times when you're shooting. It just sucks this thing does no damage. It's 4 to 5 shots to kill things. Most of the time, 5 shots. Sometimes upwards of 6. It really depends on how close you are to your opponent, and man, this thing is weak. But we have ourselves Torpedo and the splatter color screen to work with. And screen did get a buff in this season patch, so for the mid-season patch, they actually upped the damage to 40, so we can do more damage now with the screen. So that might help, we'll see. As of right now, let's just at least focus on getting zone. We have a lot of painting prowess because we're all undercovers except for one. So let's see how this goes. I'm just gonna keep on painting around that guy's feet, make it hard for him to leave. Again, we're just painting. All right, get out of here. I'm gonna throw the screen just to cause some problems. Did that guy reef slide into the zone and then the reef slider just disappeared? No explosion, no reef slider, he just got the speed. Alright, that was something. Alright, good. I was really hoping that would have worked. I was just pushing through, not caring if I die or not, just so I can get the guy's ink strikes to be canceled out. I'm gonna throw out one of my torpedoes here, just to kind of pressure. Speaking of pressure, let's throw this now. Alright, that time I saw a reef slider actually explode. Man, we're having like a really good push here. We just gotta paint the zone really quick, but now we're back in control, so this game is actually really good. We're not having any problems whatsoever. They're just struggling to get in. And with that, we're already done. These are fast games, because all of them so far have been a knockout. And that is not what I was expecting when I first went into this mode, just because of the nature of how Brellas is a weapon class a lot of people don't really play much in Splatoon, at least my experience, what I see online. I would imagine this would be a hard weapon for a lot of people to pick up for the challenge, and due to that, there would be a lot of struggles, maybe more back and forth because of it, but it's been a lot more one-sided games in my experience. So that was a fast one. We only have one more game left, and we've only been playing for about 20 minutes, so it's gonna be one of our shorter challenge videos in a while, which, hey, I'm fine with that. Sometimes you need a breather when it comes to these challenges. Let's swap to our final weapon, which is the normal old Splat Brella, but it's the Order variety instead. Order Brella Replica. I just like how it looks. Let's go ahead and use it. This one, I just like its canopy design. It's really nice. And if I get in front of it, see that like, nice silver stick or whatever ink color you have. So in this case, blue. It's really nice. Now, the kit, though, on this version of Brella, this is why I prefer the Sorella one. The sprinkler is alright. I mean, it got buffed over time, so it does a little bit more in the game now. They got a little more damage, and it feels like it paints a little bit more. But the bigger deal here is Ink Strike on the said weapon, because you can't really do much with Ink Strike. I mean, the most you can do is launch your shield and then throw out the strikes, which can help, but as you can see, I don't walk as fast as the Brella, so this is the harder of the two Brella kits to use, and that's why I'll see myself if I play a Brella weapon. I usually go to the Sorella Brella, just because it's just a stronger kit. But doesn't mean I can't make use of this one. So we're back over the Barnacle and Dime. I really love how we do have a reworked map, and we just never really play it. We're always here at Barnacle. At least we got to see it once. Alright, final game. Got ourselves a mix of Brellas for pretty much both sides, so that's nice. Let's do this. We off the final game. Gonna throw down a sprinkler so we get some paint. See what everyone has here. Nothing really all too crazy. I do have last ditch effort on this time just because this weapon's very ink hungry, so I do feel like LDE would be pretty helpful for Splat Zone specifically. And since I don't really have bombs, I'm not seeing myself using my ink up that much, so I can deal with having this ability not active for a good chunk of the game. Really don't like also we're all in this like one corner. Also really love to move, thank you very much. Alright, let's throw down our strikes. Gonna throw that in the center here just to see what happens. And apparently I got a kill. Doubt I was with the sprinkler. It would have been funny. Probably from the strikes. Alright, hello undercover. Let's get out of here. Ooh, second one. Getting him out of here too. And now with that, we got lead. That's good. So at this point, let's just focus on getting our special ready. Because then I can pressure them back into the base with our strikes. So I'll do that now. So making it much harder for them to leave the base comfortably. Ooh, come on. I was really hoping I was out of ink. If I was able to snipe the guy out of the air, that would have been a really cool kill. That guy's really focused on his inkjet, because that was a lot of special power on the inkjet. So it makes that thing last for like, what, second and a half, 2 seconds longer, based on what he had. It was a lot of charge, or a lot of power, excuse me. Alright, got one. Move back in. Get this guy with the strikes, he's a bigger deal. I get the Brella. No, I got tapped on the shield, wow. Wasn't expecting that. Alright, come on, guys. Just paint the zone. If we can get the zone back. Oh, no. Well, so much for an easy win, because we were just about ready to take it. But now they got it. I'm going to just sneak around the corner here and see what's around it. There we go. Now I'm good. Go in. Gotta throw my strikes to help. Alright, paint, paint. Oh, okay, well, there goes the change again. Throw this. There we go. We're good. All right, push it. Push it in. Careful. There's a lot going on right now. I want to chill right around here. Just to get my ink back for a second. All right, let's get out of here because he's using some strikes. And we do the same. There's just so much going on. I'll launch my shield in if I can. There we go. Last ditch effort just kicked in, so actually kind of helped in that regard. So I was just running out of ink. Then I got a little bit of ink back. Okay, that's 1 and 2. Nice. Nice combo. Alright, so now I have a little bit of last ditch effort, which means now I'll have a little bit more ink to work with, so that's nice. So now I can start throwing more bombs and my shield's out. Watch out. Nice, I tapped with the shield, so that did some damage. Right, come on, launch. There we go. Didn't mean to throw the sprinkler in that specific spot, but that's fine. I want to put it right here in the middle, just to be safe. Alright, we're at the home stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh man, that was getting close. They almost took it back for a second, which would have paused our score. And it was this close to pausing. But there you go, another win. And that's another knockout. So we had every game be a knockout. Kind of regret now not putting on a money ticket. I was going to put one on. I just kind of forgot to do it right before I started to record. But I'm like, it's only 5 games. I don't want to break the pace for that, so it'll be fine. Well, 3 games of knockout would have been some pretty nice chunk of change using a money ticket of any kind. But it's fine. So, 3 wins, 2 losses. What do we got? 1881. That's not as bad as I thought. But what we did, I'm pretty happy with that. Because I played, I would say, about 10 games last night. I got around 1,900 something. So that's pretty much on par what I would expect. Doubly so if every game being a knockout of some kind. I mean, these were fast games in general. So I'm perfectly content with that set score. So that was Brella Good. Me like Brella. Brella is good. But in all seriousness, this is an interesting challenge. I'm not the biggest fan of the Brella class, and it's mainly just because of the netcode problems that Splatoon has always had. I like them in terms of their concept. In terms of the execution, that's when things start to fall apart. And if you're playing in a local setting, that's when the weapons really shine. And it's something I would love to do at some point in the future. Love to play Splatoon in a local setting just to feel no latency problems with specific weapons. Now you can see a weapon like any other Brella really shine, but it's just another one of those you use X weapon challenges in X mode. It's nothing very that special. It's fun, but at the same time, you could just do this yourself by going into Splat Zones and picking the Brella weapon. So if you missed the challenge, it's not really that big of a deal, honestly, because it's nothing that special, but it was still fun to play when it was around. And hopefully you got to play it yourself, too, when these rotations were in play. But that's going to do it for today's video. So hopefully with that, you guys enjoyed the challenge, either by watching or if you had a chance to play it on your own. So with that said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.